it's Leanna again with an update video. This one is month 7. I missed month 6 by accident. I was actually on the road on vacation, having fun with my husband, checking some things off of my bucket list, and didn't get a chance to make month 6. And by the time I had the chance to sit down and do it, it was nearly month 7. So then I thought I'd just wait. And now here it is, August 2nd, and my 7 month was July 28th. So I'm a few days late now, but mostly because I just stay really, really busy living life now. But I do still want to update, and I have a lot of information. So let's start out with my normal stats. High weight was 347. Surgery weight was 323.6. At my 6 month mark, I was down to 245, which was an 8-pound loss since month 5. So month 6, I lost 8 pounds total. At month 7, on the 28th, I checked in at 238.8. So that means that month I lost 6.2 pounds. I did notice that I was losing less and less weight during each month. It was going down. So during month 6, I really concentrated on pushing that right back up. I worked really hard. And then month 7, it went back down like by a pound or so. I know that this month is going to be a huge loss because just in the few days since the 28th, I have already lost several pounds. Something happened in my body where it just, I didn't really do anything different other than I went back to liquids for one day because I wasn't feeling very well. So I just went on liquids one day. But I've already lost almost 8 pounds in the last week or so. So anyway, we'll see what that number is next month. Okay, so let's go over a few numbers. So just for those who are curious, this is how my weight loss has happened. I'm at like 114 pounds gone total now as of today, but let's go over numbers from before. Okay, so I lost 23 pounds in my pre-op. I lost 21.4 my first month, 18 my second month, 16 my third month, 9.2 my fourth month, 6 pounds my fifth month, 8 pounds for month 6. Sorry, that's a lot of numbers. 6.2 pounds for month 7. So that means a total of 108.2 pounds by my 7-month anniversary, 84.8 of which was since surgery. So it took 7 months to lose 84.8 pounds, 8 months with my pre-op to lose 108.2. Okay. So moving on, let's talk about measurements because that's what I wanted to do last month. This is the first time I've ever talked about measurements. And I don't know how, I know a lot of people like add up all the inches they've lost and say I lost a total of X amount of inches. I measure a lot of different areas of my body, so I feel like that's kind of dishonest to say, oh, I've lost this, because in total, I've lost 116 inches. It sounds like a lot. And it really is, because I have gone from like a 26 pants to a 12 now. But, okay, so in my bust, I've lost 16.2 inches. But in my chest, which I measure to be this part, like where your band would be for your bra, I've lost 13.3 inches, which is pretty accurate. I've gone from a 46 bra to like a 38 right now. Okay, in my waist, I've lost 18.4 inches, hips 19.1, my right thigh 10.9, my left thigh 11.4, right calf 6.6 inches gone, left calf 6.8, right arm 6.8, left arm 6.5, for a total of 116 inches gone. That's a lot. Anyway, I have noticed that I have a lot of sagging skin, which I knew would be the case. That's okay. I'm working on it. I work out at the gym. I go to the gym 6 days a week for about an hour and a half each day. Sometimes I run, sometimes I do cardio, sometimes I do weights, sometimes I do a mixture of both. I try to change it up. I go like in the 30-minute room, I go back into the circuit room, I go back on the free weights, sometimes I use the machines. I love to run now. I do run a lot, which I was not a runner. For anyone who's watching this thinking, not me, I'm not a runner, I don't run, I can't run. That was me. And one day I just decided, let's go fast. Okay, no, let's stop, because that was like 30 seconds and I'm dying. And then the next day I was like, let's go fast again. Okay, that was 31 seconds and I'm dying. And I just got to the point where I was doing it for a little bit longer and a little bit faster. And for me at first, fast was 4.5. Holy cow, this fat girl is huffing it. Like 4.5, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Now when I run at a 6.2, like 6.2 miles an hour. And I find that every now and then, like up until about a week ago, I was running at 6. And then one day I'm running at 6.0 and I'm like, you know what? This feels like I'm just jogging. Let me kick it up a couple. So it's slow and steady progress. I've been working on that since February and here it is August. So it's taken me 6 months to become a runner, but I'm not really a runner. I just run for a little bit. I usually do a couple miles. Okay, so I like arms. Okay, so arms, they're really, really saggy. You can see where I have worked and I am, but like this is how my arm is, except for when all that's sagging and it's all big. So I notice like there's a lot of this, there's a lot of side, there's, excuse me, I'll close up on the camera like that. It's okay. I'm working on it. I'm toning as I go. And I'm just slow and steady. I'm just going to keep at it. Drop my pen. Okay, so let's talk about, I feel great. For me, this surgery, and I've said it before, was never about, oh my gosh, I just want to look hot and skinny and look good in a bikini and all kind of crap. It was never like that for me. Although I will say I rocked a bikini on the beach. Not on the beach, I'm sorry. Tubing, went tubing. Wore a 2-piece bikini, had fringe, of course, covering my belly area, but it was still there. It was still a 2-piece bikini, and I looked great, and I felt great, and I stayed in all day. So that was a huge accomplishment for me, just to feel good. I feel great. I can do so much more. Working out at the gym, I have stamina. Like, I sweat like crazy. I'd sweat in a snowstorm, but I feel great. I can work out for an hour and a half and not feel like I'm dying, and that was never the case before. So just having that kind of stamina. The other day I had to chase my dog. She's running off like crazy, and I had to chase her. And as I'm running through the subdivision, I'm thinking, I'm running through the subdivision. Look at me, you know? All right. So I have noticed that some of my eating habits were not doing so good. I would choose things that weren't good for me, or I would be snacking too often, not because I was hungry, but because, hey, I'm not full and I can fit something, so let's have something. And I needed to nip that right away, because for me personally, I treated this surgery as sort of like going to rehab for a drug addict. I was a food addict, and my body needed that sugar, needed those carbs. I craved it just like someone else craves drugs, and I needed to detox. I needed to not be craving that 24/7. And if I give into that now, even though it's a tiny little bit amount or whatever, I find that I need it again, and I'm eating because I'm not full. Not because I'm hungry, but because I'm not full, and that's not okay. So I notice when that starts to happen, and I have to nip it in the bud right then and there, because I detoxed myself. I have worked really hard to get where I am, and this isn't where I want to end. I worked too hard to get to where I am to let this be where I stay. So I don't want to relapse. I focus really hard, and when I notice that my weight loss is not going as fast as I want it to, or as fast as I think it should, I reevaluate. Sometimes there's something I can do. Now sometimes I can't. There's nothing I can do. You know, I'm doing everything I can, and you know, I'm eating right. I'm going to the gym. Sometimes I skip going to the gym, and that confuses my body. And then I start dropping weight again. So, but sometimes there's nothing you can do, and it's just a stall, and that's okay too. But I always reevaluate and see, is there something that I'm doing differently that I could be doing better? Because this is a season in my life, and I don't want it to stop yet. Okay, so moving on. Update my bucket list. So I couldn't find my little book that I have my bucket list in. I need to find that. But I will say I rode on a roller coaster. That's one thing I was doing on my 6-month anniversary. I went with my sister and my nieces and my husband to an amusement park, and I rode a roller coaster. Put the seatbelt on, put the bar down, went with my husband, checked on my bucket list. So I was really, really excited about that. I also got to ride kiddie rides. And that may sound silly, but one of the reasons I wanted to have this weight loss surgery was because when we finally have children, I want to be able to do stuff with them. I want to be able to ride rides with them that need to have a parent chaperone with them. I want to be able to chase them and just do things and let them not think, oh, mom can't do that. Mom's not like the other moms and she can't, come and do that with us. So we were at the amusement park and my 1-year-old niece wanted to ride a ride. And there were these little bitty race cars that all they do is go around in a circle and they kind of like sling you around the end, if you know what I'm talking about. Like just a quick little woo, and they're a little kiddie ride. And I got in it with her and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fit in there. And it's a little bitty car and my 1-year-old niece is sitting next to me. I buckle her up and I sit in and I'm like, okay. Well, then the lady comes around. She's like, no, everybody has to be buckled. You need to put your seatbelt on. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be so embarrassing. There's no way the seatbelt's going to fit me. And I'm going to have to get like my husband to come ride the ride with her. And so I reached down and I put the seatbelt and I'm like, oh, it fits, it fits, it fits. And I like wanted to do a little dance there. It fits, it fits, it fits, it fits. Anyway, so I put it on and we rode the ride. And then my niece was like, we're not getting out. The little girl comes around and unbuckles all of our seatbelts and she's like, no. And she's trying to put it back on. Like we ended up riding it 3 times. And I sat in this little bitty teeny tiny race car with a 1-year-old on a kiddie ride and with my seatbelt on, and we rode it 3 times. And I thought, this is why I put myself through this. This is why I put myself through a major surgery. This is why I changed everything about my lifestyle, is so that I can do things like this with my family. That was huge for me. There are so many things that I've checked off my bucket list, but there's so many things I want to add that I never even thought about adding. Like I want to go ziplining. Oh my gosh, I want to go ziplining. That wasn't on my bucket list because that was never even in the realm of possibility. I want to go parasailing. We went tubing. We floated the river. And I tipped my tube over and I fell in the water and I had to get back into my tube. And before, I never would have had the upper body strength to be able to get in my tube and push myself up and get into my tube. I'm not saying it was easy. It was not easy. I still need to work on some upper body strength, but I eventually did it. It took like 20 minutes. But I did it. And, 114, 110 pounds ago, I would not have been able to do that. So these are reasons that I did this. I want to feel normal, and I finally am getting there. I finally feel comparable to, those around me. And I'm not that I'm trying to compare myself. It's just that I don't want to feel like the sore thumb sticking out because I'm so big and can't do anything that other normal women do or normal people do. I feel small again. Like there are times where I'm like sitting at the movie theater and I look down and I realize I've actually pulled my legs up into the seat with me and I'm just sitting there watching the movie, and then I look down and I realize, oh, look at this. I'm like sitting here all curled up in a little bitty ball. Or I, like just now I went and crossed my legs, and it's just natural now. Like when I'm sitting, I cross my legs over the knee and without even trying to, and I just feel natural. And then I look at myself and I think, how far I've come. Look at this. Look how far I've come. And for those that are like just now watching this video, please go back and watch some of the other ones, because I was not this way. This is not me bragging. This is not me, hey, look at me now. Although, I mean, come on, look at me now. I'm like really excited, and you have to understand, I feel like a different person in a good way. And there was a time where this was not possible, and I thought that my life was just going to be me being the fat girl and always the heaviest, and I don't fit in that seat, and I can't walk up those stairs, and my knees hurt. And I mean, I'm 30 years old. Well, I'm 31, but like, I've been this way my whole life. So, I mean, I can think back to when I was 25 and I had the same problems. I'm too young for this. Anybody is too young for this. Nobody should live a life like that. So, if you're considering surgery, if you're thinking about it, I say go for it. I wish I'd done it 10 years earlier. I really do. It's meant a world of difference in my life. It has been the thing that's given me life again, that I can do things without a second thought. I don't think about what's the weight limit on that. I get on it and I do it. And I feel great, and there's no price that you can put on that. People talk to me about how they're scared about surgery, or I don't know that I could ever do that. I mean, that's scary. Yeah, but so is living life the way that I was. That's scary. And yeah, you could die in surgery. You could die in any kind of surgery, but you can die the way that you are right now, or the way that I was right then. And so I just say, for this feeling, for the way I feel life now. It was worth it. Good luck. And God bless.